for the first time in the federal regulator's lawsuit against the crypto exchange. It feels like we've been speaking about this every day since the lawsuit was brought at the beginning of June. Let's take a step back here. Can you briefly just talk us through the timeline of what's happened from, I think, the lawsuit being filed on June 5th until now?
Sure. Well, we've had a kind of, as is usual in this kind of case, a series of ping pong. We had the SEC filing charges in June, as you say. Coinbase filed its defense. Then the SEC filed a defense to the defense saying, no, you're not allowed to make this argument. You're not allowed to make that argument, seeking to strike out, in the legal jargon, some of the arguments they were using. And now we've got the response to the response to the response, which from Coinbase, which says, we should be allowed to make these major questions of law. And we saw the last instance of that kind of rally happening in a filing late last night. All of this is taking place ahead of a pre-trial, pre-motion hearing that is happening today at 10 a.m. Eastern Time in New York, which will kind of set the scene for this litigation. But if the SEC's action against Ripple is anything to go by, then this is a case that is going to grind on for years and years. So you can see all this as just the opening skirmish in something that is going to keep going for a very long time.
Yeah, what I want to know is where Coinbase is getting this money to, pay for this thing that's going to drag on for years and years. But that's another topic. I just think it's very mysterious. Anyway, speaking of money, Coinbase is also bringing up student debt cancellation, and somehow this is related. Can you break this down for us? What is that argument exactly?
Right. Well, we know that crypto is an evolving area of technology, but the law itself is evolving, and not always in things that to do with crypto. So lots of viewers will remember this big Supreme Court case that happened in June, where it cancelled the Joe Biden's student debt cancellation program, which was worth around $400 billion, because essentially it said if Congress had wanted the Department of Education to have this extraordinary power to cancel student loans, it would have said so explicitly. There would be a line in legislation saying explicitly, by the way, you have the power to cancel student debt if you want to. And there is no such legislation, and this is a major issue of economic and political importance. So you'd have thought Congress would have said so explicitly. And what Coinbase's lawyers are now saying is actually this is the same kind of situation. It's a definite analogy for what's happening in the crypto sector. You're taking a whole new sector that's worth around $1 trillion, and the SEC is coming in and saying, even though Congress has never explicitly said so, we think we have the authority to regulate this sector under the existing Securities Act. So Coinbase is saying, look, we've got this judicial doctrine that says agencies are only allowed to act on major issues when Congress has told them they can. And crypto is an exact analogy for this, and they're going to use this argument. They're claiming it adds extra strength to their case in order to assert that, in fact, the SEC has no power to tread into the area of digital assets as it is currently trying to do.
Jack, thank you very much for joining us this morning and breaking down those two stories.
Thank you.